of discovering your God-ordained spouse? And what are the signs that will give you that conviction that this is the right person? Because if you get the wrong person on your boat, that can be very devastating.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think that maybe I would first answer the question in terms of what's the place, and
Yes.
then maybe how you. I think the place of your God ordained spouse is non-negotiable in the journey of purpose.
Yeah.
All right. If you're going to fulfill God's plan, you have to actually find God's person for that journey. Because, like you mentioned, where that is not the case, there'll be a lot of frustration. There'll be a lot of tension, and it has the capacity to abort the fulfillment of purpose. So that is a vital key. You can't negotiate that aspect of one's journey. Now, the question then is, how do you find who it is? How can you tell? And I think that also goes back to the place of what Pastor Isaac was talking about, which is you have to be able to hear from God. You cannot negotiate that aspect. Like you need to hear from God concerning God's purpose. You need to hear from God concerning God's person. The reason is that there are many that will look like it but are not it. Samuel said, look at Eliab. He looks like it. Behold the Lord's anointed. God said, no, I have rejected him. So there are times that you have people that fit whatever it is that we have as the ideal stature or the image of what we think is going to be required for that journey. So it's not like a checklist. Has A correct, has B correct, has C correct, must be the one. No, you have to be able to come to the point where you can hear. Is this who God has for me or not? I think that is extremely vital. Now, that does not mean that when that is done, there is no work to be done. However, the first thing is that you have to clear that. You understand? You have to clear that. So for me, in my own personal experience, I said I found what God called me to do in 2005. I met my wife much earlier than that. But the moment I discovered this is what I am here for, okay, my first thing was, look, it will be wickedness for me to take you on a journey you are not supposed to go. So the first thing is, look, I'm going to go and spend time with God and find out, is this journey for the two of us? You find out also for yourself, because you have to know. Yeah. Each person has to be sure. They need to know. Yeah. And that is where the capacity of everyone who is a child of God to hear from God comes into play. Yeah. All right? So at that point, having now heard, this is this is who I want you to be with. This is your partner in the journey of life, and vice versa. There shouldn't be any pressure from one person to the other. Everybody needs to hear. Yes. And once that is cleared, it now becomes, okay, what does this journey take? What will this journey require? And that's why a lot of discussion, it bothers me quite a bit when I see two people who claim that, oh yes, this is what I'm going on this journey with, as far as purpose is concerned, as far as God's plan is concerned, and the last thing they discuss is what the purpose is. To me, that's actually, it's like you're planning to fail. What the purpose is important, but how we are going to get there is, I would say, even more vitally important. So there is the need to begin to have, very rich discussions about, this is what God is showing me. How are we going to get there? What is He showing you as well? You understand? Yeah. Because everyone is created by God. What's the meeting point? How are we going to end up at the place of fulfillment on this journey together? I think those are vital discussions that you have on that journey, all right? And then having found what those things are, then who must I be? In other words, what are the things I need to begin to work on myself, in order to fit that picture? Yeah. Because there are things we need to shave off. Yeah. There are things we need to add on, all right? There's a lot that needs to be, we are a product in process. Absolutely. And I think that discussion helps to sharpen, one another in terms of getting towards what that ultimate picture is. And it's an adventure that you keep going through, as it were, in the journey. But I believe that that's one of the vital things. So you have to be able to first hear from God. All right? Each person needs to hear from God. No one depends on the other one's hearing. Yeah. And secondly, having done that, we need to now begin to really express the details of what the vision is and how, to get there, as it were. And then thirdly, in my view, will be what, I need to become. What do I need to shave off? What do I need to add on in order to be able to fulfill what God has called me to do and what he has called you to do? And like I said, what's the intersection of those two assignments as it concerns both of you? So I believe those are the things critical that I feel are important.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.